people, you're watching Things That Will Freak You Out in Korea, a germaphobe's worst nightmare. Before coming to Korea, and especially when you get here, you will hear about new germs. And when I first heard the term new germs, I thought to myself, how are they new? Like, do their germs not look like our germs? Will I not be immune in any way, shape, or form to these germs? And apparently, no. Everyone is telling me that I will get sick at some point, no matter how much hand sanitizer, vitamin C I take, how many immunity support gummies I take. It's inevitable, and I will get sick at some point. So after listening to all the people that say I will get sick, I thought about it, and after noticing some things around Korea, they are probably right. New germs are everywhere, and that is because the level of cleanliness in Korea is a bit different. Is at a different level than what I was used to. I've seen things in my short time here that really made me stop and say, WTF, or what the? These were moments that even though I had all the germaphobe stuff in my purse, I still wasn't mentally prepared for these things. So WTF moment number one. When you walk into a public restroom and you go to wash your hands, you will find bar soap. Why is there bar soap in the public restroom? Bar soap is only used for family and sometimes friends. Bar soap is a host, a collector of germs from the previous people. I should not be using a public host of germs. And if you do happen to find a restroom that has liquid soap, foam soap, I haven't ran into that, but if you happen to run into a restroom that has liquid soap, more than likely someone has poured water and diluted that liquid soap, which will piss you off even more than bar soap. So just be mindful, always have hand sanitizer in your backpack so you can wash your hands after. And while we're in public restrooms, let's talk about WTF number two. You really need to go to the restroom, and all over Korea you will see women's toilets, women's toilets, women's toilets. That's restroom, okay? So yeah, so look for the sign that says women's toilets and you will go to the restroom. When you really need to go and you are going through public like I need to go. And when you finally make it and you open up that stall and you see one of these, what in the hell is this? Stop. What in the world is this? Apparently these are called squat toilets. I do not know how to use a squat toilet, and I have no intention of learning how. I will wait until the toilet that I am familiar with becomes available. So just keep in mind, you may not be mentally prepared to see this porcelain hole in the ground, and the first time I saw one, I was in the hospital. Because when you come here to teach, more than likely, I want to say like 100% chance that you will have to take a medical exam. Well, this medical exam is another WTF moment. I guess you could say this is WTF number three. This medical exam, all my fellow teachers before I left to go do the medical exam, all tried to warn me saying, Jasmine, you know the medical exam isn't the same as in the States. And I'm like, whatever, you being dramatic, I'ma shake it off. Okay, so hospitals. You know when you walk through them and you can just feel the sick in the air? Well, Korea isn't any different. It's actually just, it's a whole experience. You walk up to the front and sign number one that there are new germs in here. You got people hanging outside in full on hospital attire, like outside smoking cigarettes. Like you in a wheelchair with a hospital gown and pants on. I feel like you should be inside right now and not out here hanging like it's a damn bar. I acknowledge, and I'm like, okay, this shit is weird, but just keep on walking because we got to do the medical exam. And you walk through and you see more people. There's this large waiting area and there are more people in their hospital gowns. And I'm thinking to myself, are there not any private rooms? But then I see a man who's walking full on hospital attire once again, and he has the pole, the IV pole drip thing, and he just shuffling his feet, through the hospital. And I'm like, sir, you probably have a room somewhere, and I'm gonna need for you to go. You should not be out here shuffling your feet with the IV drip. I'm gonna need for you and your germs to find your location. It shouldn't be out here with us people who here for routine medical checkups. We finally make it to the first stop of the medical exam, because there are multiple stops in this medical exam. You go into a room and they do like a little color test. And then they bring out like this 1970s headphone set, and you're supposed to raise your hand, and you're supposed to take a hearing test, and you raise your hand when you hear the beeps. And after I take the headphones off, I realized she didn't wipe them things down before, and I surely didn't see her wipe them things down after, and they from the 70s, so there are probably new germs on the headphones. So we just go to the next step of the medical exam, which is like a chest x-ray of your chest or some sort. I didn't know what she was saying. I just deal with she motioned me to do. Before you do the x-ray, you get directed or ushered into a room, and you're supposed to take off your shirt and your undergarments and put on a gown. In the US, you are either given a disposable gown or handed a gown that you trust to be clean, to be freshly laundered. This gown was hanging on the wall. It was only one. There was one gown hanging on the wall, and of all things, it was on a wire hanger. I do not trust any clothing on a wire hanger. And I put it on, not really thinking about it, and then, do the little x-ray, and then afterwards I go back. And my friend Margaret is like, "Did you put on that gown?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I put on that gown." How many people you think put on that gown today? Well, damn, Margaret, I didn't think about it. But now that I am, it was probably hundreds of people who put on that nasty ass gown. So there were new germs on the gown, apparently. So then I'm just like, whatever, I ain't thinking about it no more. Let's just go on to the next thing, because I know at some point in this medical exam, I know that we're gonna have to draw blood. So I'm like, okay, because that's me, blood, needles, all that, I'm gonna pass out, who gonna catch me? We go to the next step, and it's finally the blood test man. And this man is sitting at a desk in the waiting room, and he calls us, and I'm thinking, okay, we about to get ushered into another room, take blood. Nope, you just get your blood drawn right there from a man with no gloves in the waiting room with everybody. So he do his little thing, bump, 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 I ain't looking. And then he hands you a cup. It looked like a little drinking water cup. So I'm like, okay, so I need some sustenance, so I don't pass out or something like that. Well, no, I'm supposed to take this little drinking water cup and go do my little sample for the urine test. But number one, you gave me this little cheap ass cup that I don't even think Solo made. So, and it had no top, no lid, no type of covering. And then you finally make your way into the little squat toilet bathroom, and then you get thrown off, and then you gotta make sure that you just don't spill everything, because they ain't give you no lid, no type of covering. When you finish, you were supposed to take this cup across the hallway into this cooler with everybody else's samples who have no top, no lid, no type of covering. New motherfucking germs. That's all I'm saying. That hospital, if you was 100% healthy when you walked in, there's a slight chance that your ass caught something when you walked out. I had to give you like the breakdown of the medical exam, because I wanted you to understand that their idea of cleanliness, sanitation, sterilization, whatever, is just completely different from ours. I mean, even when it comes to coughing and sneezing, this right here, they ain't learned this in Korea. Nobody taught them how to do this. For instance, when the little kids, little students or rugrats that I teach, like they come up and they're like, teacher, teacher. Like, watch out, little people. Ew, stop. Do you need to go to the bathroom? And they just be like this the whole class. And I'd be like, do you need a tissue? It's just not the kids. They coughing. They just ain't none of this. You walking down the streets, they just coughing. And y'all, I am one of the biggest germaphobes, so I needed to share with all my other germaphobes that are coming or considering coming to Korea. Please pack your hand sanitizer. Please pack your vitamin C. Please pack your immunity support gummies, because nobody prepared me. I was not mentally prepared for what I was about to see in Korea. So once again, I thank y'all for watching Jasmine TTV. There will be another video next week. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week.